So just real quick to re-highlight, we want to, really provide an organic platform for you to, present your project tonight. So the way I typically, would like to get started is just letting the community and everyone listening here to this AMA to really get to know you a little bit better. So the way that I find that works best is really just capturing, a little bit about both of your backgrounds, Christine and Jared, and really what brought you to DeFi and launching this and kind of that passion behind it with the women empowerment, I think would get us off just on the right foot tonight.
Sure, of course. I'm Christine Curran. I'm the founder of the WEMP token. Jared and I have known each other for probably over a decade, but we've started a company together about 2 years ago. We started working on planning the event. It's called the Influential Model Awards, which is all for female influencers, similar to like an Oscar style award show with female influencers from all over the world. And obviously, with COVID, that got postponed. And that's when Jared had jumped into crypto. I jumped into PPE. And then after he did some major gains, he was like, hey, you got to come into this crypto space. So he kind of mentored me in the crypto space. And I realized, hey, we need to have our own currency. I mean, well, first of all, we want to teach other women about crypto and educate them. But I was like, we really should have a currency for our event. It's a global event. I mean, it makes sense. So that's where the WIMP token was born. And then with Jared's more, being more knowledgeable in this space, he helped put together the project with the devs and so on. And that's how it was born. So we're just excited to be able to really create mass adoption for crypto by, educating and getting more women into the space.
Really cool. Yeah, and I would say it's needed too, right? You have obviously just America in general and really anywhere, the struggle for women, the job force and everything that's been happening. I think you're seeing a big growth. And if anybody knows me, I support women empowerment. I mean, we literally built out a wing at the DeFi Angels to provide that safe haven for our women to co-invest and mingle with each other and make those investment decisions. So it's really cool, seeing that as a token. And I mean, to that point, I guess, tell me more about it. What drives the token? How does it work? I mean, I want to know the high level presentation over this, and I have so many questions, I'm sure.
Sure. So I'll dive into that. As far as I'll start with highlighting our tokenomics, and then I'll get into some of our utility and fundamentals. So as far as our tokenomics, we have a 6% tax on buy-sell transactions. That 6% tax is broken down accordingly. We have 2% that is redistributed to all token holders. We have 1% that goes to support women entrepreneurs to help them to further invest in their businesses. We have another 1% that goes to support charities that support women. And our intention is to support a different charity in a different country every month. Furthermore, an additional 1% goes to the liquidity pool. And then finally, the final 1% is burnt in order to maintain the deflationary aspect of our token so that our supply is constantly diminishing. So that's a bit about our tokenomics. And to get more into, you asked the question, what drives our token? So more of the fundamentals, what makes us unique? And I think that's the fact that we focus on empowering women, supporting women, and bringing more women to the crypto space. More women in crypto is of utmost importance for two key reasons. The first reason is that in order for us to have full and thorough and efficient mass adoption of crypto, we have to include women. And also, women make up more than half the world, quite frankly. So therefore, more women in crypto equals a further advanced industry and a higher global market cap. So it's a win-win. And so it is of utmost importance that we include women, and we start with the basics, with education, educating women about crypto. And we realize that crypto is not the easiest thing to navigate. Crypto could be very complicated, and therefore,
It's still the
when,
wild, wild west.
definitely.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, definitely. And therefore, when we launched our token, we committed to mandating that our first 99 token holders were all women, because we said that if we are going to be about women empowerment, we need to prove that, not just in our word, but by our actions. So we spent just under $10,000 in Ethereum gas fees to airdrop tokens to these 99 women. And that was important for us, because it's important that women are also empowered financially. So that's one aspect of how we empower women. And, I mentioned the charitable aspect, providing monthly donations to charities that support women, providing support for two or more female entrepreneurs every month to help them further invest and promote their businesses, and providing the education for women to learn the basics of crypto investments and what crypto is all about. And then finally, only hosting and promoting NFTs that are created by women.
Really cool. Yeah, and I mean, given the chance for the 99, first holders to be women, I think is, just amazing, and great idea. And to move forward from that statement, also, focusing on the key components, right? Education of crypto, and really, we haven't even captured anything really compared to society when it's in terms of digital assets. So you said it best. Bringing more women to the table is going to build a bigger global cap for crypto, but also I think it brings much more sharper minds. And I've learned this in my previous, endeavors with women's investor networks, and opening these up. It brings a different tool. Women are a different animal, and I've always just seen it work so well. Having these sorts of things, like women groups. So very excited for what you're doing. I want to, just dive into the questions. I mean, just to kind of highlight and recap over that: education, great tokenomics, a deflationary asset, focusing on bringing more women into the space, but also giving back, right? Donating to two or more women entrepreneurs to support their businesses, offering those resources for free to women, I think is, very important. And then lastly, you mentioned the NFTs created by women, which I think is like a red carpet straight into the market that they deserve. So I love it. So with that being said, I just want to learn more, just to kick off the questions, a little more about how you're finding these certain entrepreneurs that are women, of course, and how the donations work. And then secondary from that, also the same concept with the charities. How do you find these charities and pick them that support women, and how are those payments made out?
Sure, sure. So, as far as the way in which we attract the female entrepreneurs and highlight the charities is in working with uh, various different organizations, over the years from my personal experiences. Um, I've come to realize that there's so many amazing charities that actually support women, and in general, so many amazing charities out there. And for that reason, we have an actual team. We have an extension of our team that focuses on finding charities that usually those that are are relevant to things going on. For example, in Afghanistan, what happened with the tragedy they had not too long ago, or like what happened in Haiti, for example. Those would be, countries where we say, okay, well, what can we do for the women there? You know what I mean? And so we try to keep it relevant to what's going on and how our support can have the most impact. But beyond that, it's also focusing on um, the charities that are active and that, really true to their mission. And our team helps to find a wide range of charities that are effective and efficient in fulfilling their mission. And then we come down to a list of about the top 5, and we then present it to our community of token holders to vote on which one that they feel should receive the funding. We let our community have a say because the Women Empowerment Token is community driven. And so that's important that we let them have a say. And the same thing applies for the women entrepreneurs. You're going to see us actively in the next few days. You're going to see us actively on social media, also reaching out and letting women entrepreneurs know about the opportunity that they could apply in order to get funding for their businesses.
Yeah,
And
you will
it's
be able to submit for it. So we're actually redoing our website right now with some very high technology that will allow the token holders to connect safely and securely to the website so we can identify them as a token holder. Um, and then they can vote on these. So the voting is very fair to the community, and nobody can come from the outside and vote. But that's been the process of being worked on for, I think, for December, correct?
right. So basically, for the women entrepreneurs, that's going to be very interesting because for those that apply, um, the top 5 will be chosen, and those 5 ladies will then come on a live AMA with our community, and they will pitch their business ideas. And based off of the way they present and pitch their business, the community will then get to vote on where the funding should go, which entrepreneurs will receive the funding. And we fund 2 or more. So that's the good thing. It's not like it's just going to be one. We fund 2 or more per month. And so there's going to be more than one. Because, sometimes you find yourself in a situation where you had, 2 that were amazing. And then, you don't want to just pick one when you had 2 that were amazing. It's such a tough decision, which is why we said 2 or more women will support every month. So I hope that answers your question as to the process of us actually choosing the charities and the women entrepreneurs.
Absolutely, and I like the way that you're going to use the website, which what sounds like you would connect a wallet, and basically the token is acting more of a governance token, right? Like a use case, having that ability to go in and let the community, getting them engaged and have a voice, and also. I think the entrepreneurial pitch with the 5 different women entrepreneurs is a great idea. It sounds kind of like a mini Shark Tank in a way, but probably a little more friendly.
Yeah,
So I think
Exactly.
that that's
exactly.
great. Yeah. So to
Definitely.
me, I've been a part of groups that had similar modules. And it really does bring out the best in entrepreneurs. So, providing that platform from women, letting them excel there, and then also them having the opportunity for funding is just a beautiful thing to see within your ecosystem already, right? Because you're already looking at charities, you're already doing so much for the holders with the rewards. So to me, I love it. And yeah, I guess to add on, I mean, just blatantly and candidly, I guess. So how does WIMP, make its money, right? I mean, everybody, it's a business at the end of the day. So is that through the taxes, or how exactly does, WIMP token as a business collect its funds?
Well, as far as WEMP token, and how funds are accumulated is basically there's no particular tax or anything of that nature that's geared toward WEMP making money. I mean, we as the development team are going to give the option for persons to donate if they feel led to do so. I mean, it's not a must. We the devs, we had a fair launch of the token, and a lot of the devs did actually purchase tokens, so we're token holders as well. But naturally, we're holding firm, and so we have other sources of income. So it's not like it's an immediate need for us to have salaries or anything like that. And so for that reason, the focus isn't on us, the devs. The focus is on the community, the investors, and the charities and the women entrepreneurs. That's the focus.
Great, great, and great answer, and really that's what I was looking for, right? Are you, and most of these projects that we see, they have inlying taxes, right, that feed the marketing wallets and dev wallets and different things, how they make their money. But you essentially are really skin in the game, for lack of better terms. You're, not only the devs of the project and the leadership team, but also probably the majority shareholders or investors, as we would put it in this case, token holders in the project, and obviously boots on the ground at events. So to me, being from more of the private equity standpoint, I know nobody does, nothing for free, but in this instance, I think that what you're doing is more out of passion from what it
Right.
looks like, and holding that investment, but pushing this project to other limits to where you can create more streams of revenue to move into. Correct?
Definitely, most definitely. And you were right in saying we're doing it out of passion because personally, I'm passionate about women empowerment because it was my mother who taught me entrepreneurship. And so, I just think of how powerful women are and how, we all came from a woman, and
Hmm.
it's just so important that women get the respect they deserve. They get the credit they get the credit they deserve, and that they get equal opportunities, um, throughout society and in every aspect. Women
Hmm.
deserve to get the very best, and we definitely look forward to continuing to fulfill that mission daily.
And I think what's so
Hmm.
great about our project is that we're extremely transparent on everything that we do. Like, we're real people. You can find us all over the internet. I have a TV show. It's all about women empowerment. It's called Dining Divas. Before that, are still, but currently, but for 15 years, I've booked women, over 800 women, from everything from modeling to acting to fashion shows, etc. We have the influential model awards. Everything in my life for the last 15 years has been about empowering women and helping women. So, we're very transparent on who we are, which a lot of coins don't have that transparency. And besides that, we're very transparent on where we spend the money. We ask the community what their opinion is on before we make decisions on how we spend the marketing dollars. We do, polls and votes inside our Telegram on different marketing initiatives, like, hey, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? So I feel like we have that transparency on everything in our community.
Hmm. Yeah, which is really important, especially in decentralized finance and cryptocurrency in general, right? That's something that as an investor, especially one of the things in our group, we look heavily into those things, right? The transparency, what are the teams like? Are they going to give us the information we want or beat around the bush? And I think, from the back of the house side of things, doing, prior to this AMA and working with you, you've held a professionalism with, WIMP token that I haven't seen really represented by other tokens. And it's very appreciative to see. It's actually refreshing. It reminds me more of the traditional world in a way. And the fact right now, just kind of transitioning, I mean, you're, like I said, boots on the ground at events.
We're
Another
at an event
thing,
right now.
exactly, exactly. And that's my point. That's another thing that you really don't see a lot of projects doing. So just moving into that, I've looked at your chat, we've done some due diligence. It looks like, you're at an event obviously right now, but this is not the last one and there's more to come. So can you tell us a little bit more about, what you're achieving at these events, how they're going, and really these efforts, and what's the expected turnout for all this?
Well, I think this is where it starts getting really exciting because, we're a month old and we did everything organically, being able to hit like over 10,000% at our highest peak in the first week organically was exciting for us. And we have a really strong, good community of people. And now that we've just launched our marketing initiatives, we've dropped over $250,000 on all different events, and a very reputable crypto PR company out of Dubai that's actually founded and run by women. It's called Luna PR. They also represent like CZ from Binance, and some of the exciting things that we're doing. One with them particularly is we're going to be in the first ever print edition of Entrepreneur that's all about crypto. And there's only 10 projects being featured, and we're one of them. And CZ from Binance is on the cover of that. So that's definitely going to be a collectible edition. And
Hmm.
that's really exciting for us. Obviously, they have 12 million viewers on their website. So we're going to be on the website. So we feel it's going to be a really big push for us for December. Going in, besides all the PR, the write ups, and everything else that Luna will do for us. That's really exciting. And then going into January, we're going to be doing a big Women Empowerment Expo out of LA, where we're going to be speaking to over 1,000 women. So we're really excited about that event, as well as our big event that's going to be happening is in March. That is the Wall Street Conference, and that event is very exciting because something like our project doesn't really get to present at an event of that caliber. It's actually called Billionaires Row. So there's a ton of billionaires that are going to be there. It's extremely exclusive. You cannot just buy a ticket to go there. You have to be invited. And then
Hmm.
once you're invited, it costs 25 grand just to be there in attendance at the event. So this is like the top echelon of, there's going to be Brock Pierce, the founder of Tether, is going to be there. The Trump coin is going to be there. I mean, they paid $1 million just to represent the Trump coin. So the reason why we have this connection is it's a personal connection that I've worked with them booking their promo models for their event for the past 3 years. And when I told the owner about what I was doing, he was like so in awe. And he was like, this is such a great story to be able to tell on stage that you went from booking my models to now having your own crypto. And they have a crypto panel and a whole women empowerment panel, and it's a 3-day event. So like these are the kind of things that we're doing so many big, like from Entrepreneur to the Wall Street Conference. We're doing some very big things for such a new token and such a new project. So we're really excited.
Hmm.
And there's a ton of other stuff we're working on as well, but those are just some of the big highlights that I think every investor would want to know about. And
Hmm.
if you go into our Telegram, you'll see that we screenshot and send like where we have a confirmation for the Wall Street Conference. It's 100% done. Like it's a done deal. So we have all of we always show the community that these are real things, are really happening. And I think that's exciting.
Absolutely. And I can say, groups like that, ultra high net worth individuals, really savvy investors, people like your Tiger 21s, right? That I know very well. Sounds like it's that crowd. And I think just candidly, your token will be very receptive well. I just, I've seen it in multiple facets of different industries, women empowerment, and it's really big, and I think a lot of people need to know more about it and learn. So I'm so proud of you, just getting this far, and organically, right? I mean, breaking those 1,000 holders, moving up, closing in, working towards that 5,000 that's on your roadmap. It's really exciting to see. And so before I really open it up, for our core team and deal flow committee. And then also, if anybody else here listening in does have, any questions that they want to answer or want an answer to, feel free to type them in the chat, and we don't mind asking them for you. Or if the Women Empowerment Token team member is in there, then they can answer that as well. But yeah, onwards and forwards. I wanted to move in more of the centralized, listings and exchanges. I see that on the roadmap. And I'm just wondering, have you moved into any talks yet with these folks, or, kind of where are you at in that process so far?
So far, we've been listed on Bitmart, We got listed in Bitmart within the first 2 weeks of launching, so that was interesting. Um, and we were, yeah, we're working on KuCoin. We've applied to KuCoin, so we're waiting to hear from KuCoin. And we have been approached by several exchanges as well, like CoinsBit and who else approached us? Some of them, I don't even remember the names of some of them. There's so many of them. And quite frankly, a few of them were scams. They
Go
approach you.
figure.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
tried.
Crypto.
How it
Yeah.
is with
Yeah.
Telegram,
Yeah.
man. It's just so
Yep.
many scams, and so. But we've become very good at weeding out scams and finding out who's legitimate, and to make sure that their email address is actually affiliated with the actual website of the exchange. So the first thing I do when they approach me, I say, hey, I want you to send an email from your official the domain of your exchange. Send an email. Make sure that your email address has the domain of the exchange, and send it to our official email. And half the time you don't hear from them. But every now and then you find that there are some exchanges that do actually email you and prove themselves as legitimate. So definitely KuCoin is on our radar. And let me tell you the other exchanges as well. That includes LBank, Gate.io, CoinX. Also looking at Shiba Swap as well, and Hubai. I don't know if I said that correctly. Hubai Global. Yeah. So those are exchanges that are on our radar, and we're aiming to be on these exchanges by the end of the month. That's ambitious, but we're aggressively going after the listings. And I just believe that you aim for the stars, and then if you miss, you land on the moon. That's where we want to go. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
Right.
so that at the
Absolutely.
end of the day, we're doing the applications, and if we don't get all of them by November, then we'll definitely get them by December. So the team is actively working daily. We eat, breathe, and digest and sleep WEMP token. You know what I mean? It's just a part of our daily lives, and we love it because not only will this token help to empower women, but it'll also help to change lives.
Hmm. Absolutely. And just looking at the roadmap, so many exciting things, right? Coming up in the expansion phase and the empowerment phase. I mean, I'm just looking through it and you can see so many potential streams of revenue, right? Like with the merch store, even rolling out, I think Kristen, you mentioned doing some radio and TV, different kind of ventures there as well, alongside Billboard. I mean, all these things can align down the road to create so much revenue, I think, for the project if executed correctly. So, in those terms as well, what would you say to, for investors and probably new investors looking at the project? What are, some of maybe the key things we need to know, and also some of the key things that you're currently close to closing at the moment that could be considered big news, or maybe something that is big news for right now?
Definitely. So the first thing I would say is that I'm personally good friends with Vivica A. Fox, the celebrity. You can check. She follows me on Instagram. Just in case anyone has any doubts. We talk almost on a weekly basis, and I've come to establish this relationship with her because in 2019, before COVID hit, back then I was running film conventions and film festivals, and I invited Vivica Fox as the celebrity guest for our event and presented her with a Lifetime Achievement Award. And that really resonated with her, and it meant a lot to her. On top of that, a renowned artist that I was good friends with actually did a personal portrait, a nice painting of Vivica Fox. So she got the Lifetime Achievement Award and the painting, and she was just so appreciative of that. And, we stayed in touch since then. And she's very interested. She actually holds the WEMP token. Vivica Fox holds WEMP. I gave it to her personally. She holds WEMP, and she's very happy with the progress of the token. And we are currently in the stages of finalizing a marketing partnership with her. And so, we just keep everything under wraps until we actually have a contract in hand. So we're working toward that as we speak. I just talked to her today to follow up. As you know, she's busy. She was filming for Blackish, and so many shows she's involved with that she's producing or that she's hired to be a part of. So that's something that is on the radar and coming up. Then we signed a TV press deal with a company called VIP Media. So that's set in stone. That's a signed contract. If you check in our Telegram group, we actually have confirmation that we posted for our community. And that includes 4 TV press appearances. Now, these are local press. It's local press. It's not like it's
Mhm.
anything national. It's local, like CBS Miami, or
Mhm.
the local press in Las Vegas as well as Texas, and we're gonna have 4 local press TV appearances where um, Christine, the founder, is interviewed live on TV, and
Mhm.
that is coming up
Yeah.
starting next month. Because in the deal, the actual interviews start the second month, and it also includes 8 to 10 press articles every month. So you're going to see a lot more press.
Yeah, between
You know,
Luna PR and then that deal, we have a lot of press coming up.
exactly. So
Yeah.
those are 2 key things to answer your question as to what investors can really look forward to. Uh, you know, those are 2 key things: Vivica Fox deal and also the TV deal. But it goes even further. Um, in us working with Vivica Fox and in my relationship with Vivica Fox, um, she has made me aware of the opportunity to also do a WNBA sponsorship. And the WNBA season kicks off in May, I believe. And, we're passionate about women in sports as well. These are all things that we are excited to support. And the sponsorship deal that we have right now in the works is to appear on the Jumbotron in the middle of the Staples Center where the LA Sparks play. This would be particularly for the LA Sparks, right? So to appear on the Jumbotron in the middle of the Staples Center, in the middle of the arena, um, our logo and our branding. Also a mention by the, like an actual mention by the sportscaster or the commentator, a special mention. Furthermore, includes 4 courtside seats. So this is all part of a sponsorship deal that we're going to do with the LA Sparks. And I even wanted to take it a step further, to see what other sponsorship opportunities were available. So they said they would get back to me and let me know. But what is for certain is being able to get the 4 courtside seats and placement on the Jumbotron. So that's also something that's coming up. Now, that's not until May of next year. So, that's a bit of a long ways from now, but we're working on those deals from now. Because as with something on the level of the WNBA, a lot of these deals are done years in advance. So we're just trying to stay ahead of the curve. So that's another thing we have coming up. And then finally is also to highlight our general community outreach, our general community outreach as far as getting more aggressive with going after um, going after the educational content, really providing the educational content for women, going after that wholeheartedly, um, to ensure that women have the proper education, creating our own content. Because right now on our site, you can actually go and click the learn button, and you can see various different education provided. But we are going to start to create our own content as well.
Yeah, really cool stuff and great announcements. I like the targeting of the WNBA. I think that that's brilliant. And also as you're, building this PR up, to those further dates, right? I mean, it's really the momentum factor, I think. And when you have,
Definitely.
cryptocurrency in general doing so well, with the US at least, you have a faltering economy, the debt ceiling raising, people really flooding into cryptocurrency in general. I think, again, that this would be well received, and with that exposure, can really attract volume and numbers of investors, right? Um, so great. And yeah, that answers really most of the questions that I have, and I tend to sometimes ask too many questions, so I apologize. But at this point, if anybody on our core team, wants to step in and and does have any questions, please do, as well as our deal flow committee. And again, just for everybody, listening on the call, if you do have questions and you're not comfortable maybe asking here on the call, please write them in the chat or just DM us, and we don't mind asking them for you. Anyways, the floor is now open.
I have a question. You talk about running the tokens as a company. Did you seek from the state? I live in Europe, and the European Union has different program to help women and empower women, and they can finance part, for example, of your monthly. I don't know the name in English. The payment that you have for your employees can pay a part to help you to continue to work your activity, and in exchange of continuing to empower women, help women, educate women. Is that something that you have looked at already, or is it a new plan?
Um, my apologies again. Can you repeat the question for me?
Yeah, I will. In I live in Europe, and here we have the possibility to have from the European community help for organizations that want to empower women.
Yeah.
And they what they do when they endorse you, they pay part of your daily. I don't know. Um, your what is the name? Can you help me, Taylor? The money that you
They
receive in order to work. What is the name in English?
they invest in your token?
No, 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 no. They pay you. You receive a salary,
Oh,
and they pay part of your salary. So to help you to continue on your project, there is some
oh, oh,
this system in Europe. Did you
okay.
seek if the same exists in US, or maybe if you help people, women around the world, you can also apply. I don't know.
Oh,
Or you try
okay.
to find only endorsement on the private sector only.
Definitely. Okay, I see what you're saying now. So you're saying that if the opportunity exists for there to be compensation provided by the government here in the United States to allow, would it be women in general, or would it be us, the core team, to receive financial support to enable us to um, invest more time and energy and resources into the project? Is
Yeah,
that
yeah,
okay?
that's it.
Understood.
We have this in Europe, so I was curious to see if you seek the same in US.
Understood. Okay. Well, yeah, it's definitely a good time to be a European. You guys have so many great benefits over there. I do not believe that something like that exists, especially for the crypto space, here in the United States. Now, I can be wrong because sometimes you can find these opportunities. You just have to, search diligently for them. So there may be something like that exists, but not to our knowledge. But it's now that you mention it, it's definitely something worth researching.
Yeah, there is the in for the European Union, but also the what is the name? The UN.
Mhm.
Uh, what is the name in English? Oh, sorry, I'm
United
pretty bad.
Nations?
Yeah,
United Nations.
yeah, yeah. There is specific programs for that too. So maybe it
Okay.
was a shot to give it a look.
Definitely, definitely. Yeah, Christine just actually wrote that down. That makes sense. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Any other questions?
I have a question for Christine.
Yes.
Hi, Christine. How are you?
Hi. Great.
Great. Okay, so I wanted to know about can you walk us through how you went about finding the 99 woman, the first woman that you were able to airdrop the WEMP token to? What was the process? And how
Sure.
were you able to ensure they were women?
Of course. I mean, we obviously we did give tokens to the influencers that have been with us for the IMAs because they're obviously we want them to promote and they have very large followings, so that's important. So we gave to our influencers that were interested that to promote it. Obviously, not all the girls are interested in crypto, which is totally understandable. And then we reached out through the community. I was more like a spider web of the early investors helping us find women that are actually interested and want to be part of a crypto currency because a lot of women still haven't fully adapted to it or understand it. So we wanted women that were very eager to learn. So we made sure that we talked to everybody on the phone, anybody who was introduced to us through the community. We made sure that they were like actually excited about the opportunity, not just gonna like ignore it and walk away. So all the women have been promoting us and posting and have been learning and getting on the phones with us personally and getting to know us, and so it's been a really exciting experience to have 99 women that are actually like either already in crypto or are really eager to learn about the crypto. Did that answer your question?
Thank you.
Of course.
See, sometimes I tend to ask too many questions. But anyhow, um, yeah. So more maybe talking about I think just going in general with moving forward with investors. What's the best place for them to find you in terms of information? Would that be through the website, Telegram? Where is the best place to find WIMP token?
I think the Telegram is really great, but definitely go to the website where you can access the Telegram because you want to make sure you get into the right Telegram group, as there's been some scam groups out there representing us. So definitely go to the website wemptoken.com. That's WEMP, and you can access the real Telegram that way. And obviously, you'll be able to see our white paper, our roadmap, and all of the educational stuff that we're starting to put up there, as well as the NFTs that we're promoting for women.
Yeah, definitely. That's where investors should start with reading our white paper. That details our entire plan of action and our entire roadmap, utility, and things of that nature. So definitely, I would say, potential investors, should they have the time, should read our white paper because it is, 20 pages long. So.
Of white papers. And if anybody on the call is wondering what that website is, you can find it at wemptoken.com. That's WEMP token.com. And yes, a lot of information on the website, both fully docs. We love to see that as well, and supporting women. Where do you say no to this, right? But anyhow, in closing, if there is no more questions, I do want to thank you two for coming on, highlighting the project at a high level for us. I think that this is great content that we'll be able to share amongst our community, as well as yours, and really throughout the whole DeFi space, leading to your big marketing campaigns and up to your events, and hopefully attracting more investors into the project. I can honestly say that since we've been on the call, I've bought your project twice. And I'm really excited to see the team execute and everything come to fruition. Really great idea behind it. A prudent concept in the space, and something that not only myself but the entire DeFi Angels support this movement as well. So again, you have my flowers there.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate it, and it was a pleasure to be a part of this. And we look forward to continuing this business relationship, and we look forward to hearing from you as well.
Absolutely. And in closing, does anybody else now have questions on the call? Or
I have another question. In fact, I was interested
Sure.
when I read the white paper about the charity that you will help. But can you describe in one sentence what for you will make a charity stand above the others when you do your choice?
Um, I would say definitely passion. The passion that the charity has for carrying out their mission, and also keep in mind the fact that we do let the community vote on the top 5 charities. So I think that's how we actually arrive at the decision. But ultimately, to lead us to that top 5 is definitely the passion that they have for their purpose.
Thank you.
No problem. My pleasure.
A,
I will add that. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Kay.
A has a question. Go ahead, A.
Hi, thank you. Thanks for the presentation. One of the unique things I think about this token is that you have a global perspective, and as opposed to just the States or Europe. And there are obviously a lot of places where women do need empowerment. I have a question just about some of the specifics, because you kind of generally glossed over, the education part. I would like to know more specifically what your education has consisted of, or what your plans are beyond the conferences. Are there, materials that you are providing to women? Are you reaching out directly, or what, that's my first question. And the second question is, again, more specifically, which, if you could give maybe an example of one of the projects that you have provided a donation to, and how much that donation was. Are the donations, the same month to month for each charity, or is it based on need? Because it's one thing to say you're a charity token. There are a lot of charity tokens, but the how meaningful is the donation to the business is my interest.
Sure, of course. So as far as educational resources, we are in talks right now, and that's why we didn't really specify, but we're in talks about. Well, we do have one woman already working on some videos for us. She's Jenna XRP, but we are working on possibly doing a radio show where women can call in, because I think that one of the really important things is, like, the clubhouses, the Twitter spaces are great, but there's a whole other generation of women that are not on those platforms that are trying to learn about crypto. And I feel like something that as easy as a radio show where they can call in, it's a video radio show, would be very helpful in getting those generations of women into the space and getting them to understand it. So I have a few women that are experts in the crypto space that we're vetting out right now to be the representative of WEMP for that. We're also working on, like I said, of getting a few other crypto influencers to make these videos that we will have officially on the website and the YouTube channel. So these are the things that we're only 30 days old. So these are things that we've been working on the last 2 weeks and just trying to finalize, along with the marketing. We just got the marketing done. That was a whole animal in itself of just vetting everybody and getting all the payments to everybody. Obviously, when you're spending $250,000, you have a lot of work to do behind the contracts and everything. So we're a small team, so we're just like trying to move everything in the right direction and make sure we make the right decisions for those. The other question you asked was about what have we donated to. As I said, we're only 30 days old, so we have not donated, and we wanted to make sure. The reason why we didn't rush to donate to something is because, number one, this is a community driven project, so we want them to be able to vote. And we also didn't come up with the exact criteria yet on how we were going to select both the charity and the entrepreneur initiative. So we wanted to make sure that was very streamlined and fair. We don't want to do anything that people think there's, being, biased or unbiased to anybody in particular. So we wanted to come up with the right criteria for those two initiatives. And we wanted to make sure the community got to vote on it like we promised. And that's why we are working on very high tech technology for the new website. Where they'll be able to connect securely and safely. So there will be no outside voters coming in and, just spamming the votes, So these are the things we're just trying to make sure that we do it very streamlined and very fair. So that is what we're working on right now, and that will be done in December.
Thank you. And just one follow-up question, because it sounds like you are engaging a growing team of people in all of these efforts.
Yes.
Can you tell me how many women percentage wise are on your team, and is that a priority, to have women at, the helm of leading some of these efforts?
Of course, like that's why I when we were looking for the crypto PR company, and I interviewed quite a few of them. When I found Luna PR, not only did they have an extensive portfolio, but finding out that it was founded by a woman and run 95% by women, we just knew that was the right fit for us. So we are definitely, obviously, we have a lot of male support. The devs are male. My project leader Jared, because we're business partners, and he's the one that brought me into crypto. He's male, but they're very supportive of women, and we have to have men in order to create mass adoption. Men have to support the women initiative, women entrepreneur initiatives and stuff. So we love our male supporters and our male token holders, but we are always looking for more women. So for the radio show, for the videos, it's all women in crypto that are going to be representing us and be the face of those things. And any other women that can be involved, we'd love to hear from them, and please reach out if you think that you can, offer more than just being a token holder. We'd love to talk to you. Did that answer your question?
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Great questions. I think that we had maybe a couple more, did we?
Yeah, I was gonna briefly say, first of all, whoever created that Blinker Fly NFT that you guys have, talented. That looks beautiful,
Thank
I
you.
should say.
It is.
Um, and can you just go into small little detail about the email marketing campaign? Like, who do you guys plan to reach out to with the email marketing?
Yeah. So as far as the email marketing is concerned, um, I personally have done email marketing for years, and I have an email marketing list that has just under 200,000 emails, 200,000 unique emails. So, we thought, hey, why not put that to good use as far as helping to reach out to individuals to inform them about the token and what it stands for. So we'd be utilizing that list, as well as Christine here. Christine here also does email marketing, and her list has
5,000, but
yeah.
they're all local people I've worked with. They're business owners and sponsors from my TV show. So they're very excited. I have a lot of people that are very excited about what we're doing with the token.
Yeah, my list is global. My list is global individuals all over the world. And that is going to be something that we definitely use as a vehicle to promote the token.
I also would like to just offer a resource as well. Coming from my previous sector, we had a women's investor network as well. Here obviously in DeFi, but also on the cannabis side when I was early in that space. So we can connect offline, and I certainly don't mind sharing some data with you.
Awesome. That sounds good.
Yes.
Last thing, did we get a sneak peek of the WEMP song?
Oh, the WEMP song. Yeah, the WEMP song is actually currently being worked on right now. It's not done. So it's currently being worked on, and we don't have a sample just yet. But once it's done, then most definitely. So we definitely look forward to rolling that out. That's going to be interesting. We have a female artist, because as you know, we support female artists. So we have a female artist who, her name is Jazzy Rhea, and she's going to be mastering and producing the song. So
Hi there.
That's great.
In terms of targeting early on, are you guys looking to get individuals who may be in crypto already, or are you also looking to onboard individuals who are not in crypto? And kind of from that perspective, where I'm coming from is, within an earshot of where many of the people on this call live, there's many groups that are women run that are about women empowerment, do you see the ability to kind of market to those individuals that are already running these groups and, kind of cultivating that way?
Yes, good question. As a matter of fact, just today here at the conference, we had several women who have never even heard about crypto, and they just believe in women empowerment. And so they came over to our booth and they said, hey, what is this and how can I support? And right there on the spot, they invested. They made they downloaded the Bitmart app, and they downloaded
and Jared
Coinbase.
Spent a nice 20-30 minutes with them, explaining everything, educating them, showing them hands-on, which is we've been doing a lot of women who invested in WEMP. They had no idea. They've never done it before, never had a wallet, anything. And Jared and the rest of the team have been really great about sitting on the phone and going on like Google Meets and showing these women, like spending 30-45 minutes with an individual, just getting them set up and just talking to them and telling them all the safety tips and everything to just be secure and safe, in the crypto space, and just answering all their questions. And we've done a lot of one-on-ones with women.
Definitely. So yeah, to directly answer your question, our target audience is not just women who are already in crypto, but also women who have never invested before and they want to learn.
I think there's a total fit there. Kind of as I was reading through your white paper, it just speaks really well. Crypto, it does. You don't even have to have crypto involved in it. I really do see the vision. I wish you guys the very best, and look forward to being involved.
Thank you so much. We appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. And real quick, Ryan, he always leads me to other thoughts and questions. So I have to ask now before I forget. In terms of reaching out to other, women ran groups and that, I think that's a great aspect to go down. I'm glad you're already doing it. Now, this type of project and really just overall setting, I feel like it appeals really to like family offices, small and large. Have you engaged with any talks maybe with like ultra savvy investors that maybe run some of these family offices or anything of that nature to get behind this more of a mission standpoint?
Now, I know that a part of our marketing efforts included reaching out to different women groups, and there's one in particular that's called the this one particular group, because I had a friend of mine, a very good friend, and she's passionate about empowering Black women. That's really what she does. And she runs a group called Black Women Invest. And so she has promoted WEMP token. She is a WEMP token holder, and she promoted it to her group. And then we also are sponsoring the Women Empowerment Expo. That's happening in Los Angeles on January 29th. And, that's all about women empowerment, and, they have a one-day event out there in LA, and over 1,000 women attend. And we're going to be the title sponsor of that event. So it's going to be, we just received the contract from them. We didn't sign the contract yet because we were here at the conference, so we didn't have time. But I told her the contract will be signed by Friday. Once the conference is done, we'll get the contract signed, and we're going to be the title sponsor. So it's going to be the Women Empowerment Expo presented by WEMP Token, and that we're very excited about, because that's going to certainly be a great way as being the title sponsor. I mean, there's just so much we negotiated for tremendous exposure throughout the event, and also to even provide education during our workshop, a 30-minute workshop that we'll be doing to provide education starting from the basics for women who have never heard of crypto before.
Great. And to that point, that never heard of crypto before, there are so many different women angel groups like around the nation, chapters of them, right? And a lot of these, small and larger family offices, this not only appeals to them, but this kind of correlates back to, featuring women entrepreneurs on your platform too, right? I think that there's a lot of synergy there. And that's the reason why I'm asking, when it comes to more of these angel groups, women centric or not, I think, every angel group these days, in terms of investors has women in them. And, putting something like this in front of them, again, is very appealing and attractive and well received, but also is synergetic in the way that you will be featuring, five, say, women entrepreneurs throughout your ecosystem. That is very, very interesting right there. And I can't wait to see what you all do with all this exposure and executing that, because you certainly will be getting approached a lot, I would imagine, at these events. I just being at them myself, right? So yeah, great stuff there.
Definitely, definitely.
All right. Well, you got me fired up.
In terms of the woman entrepreneur, that's exactly where my mind went to when, kind of inferred in the back of my questions. So I see the connection just like yourself. And I just want to share this with those that I see in that community.
Yeah, absolutely. I can run with that all day, Ron. That's a good one. All right.
Amazing.
Well, yeah, I like closing out on good questions, but just so everybody does have an opportunity, I know that we've about ended it 3 times, but I love questions.
Yeah, definitely. That's a good
yeah,
thing.
no,
It's just, we love entertaining questions and we love engaging the community.
yeah, no, this is great. I mean, and look, when we're able to share this, for any novice investors that are listening in, down the road after this has been recorded, I mean, we try to cover most of the ground here to give everybody enough, leeway and runway, I guess, for lack of better terms, to see the project, really understand it as a whole of what it is now and what's to come. And I think you've done a brilliant job explaining that tonight. And, at this time, I think it's safe to say that we would politely part ways on the call and love to discuss this with internally with our community and how that process works. We'll go over it with ourselves and all of our collective here, and then we make a decision to feature it as a supportive pick of the DeFi Angels. So hope to see you on that list. And again, just want to really thank you for coming on. This has been a phenomenal AMA, and I really can't wait to get this content out to yourself and really, again, to the DeFi community in a whole. So thank you.
Great. Thank you so much for having us.